Welcome everyone. Glad to see some familiar faces. I am Megan. I am the Outreach and Training Coordinator here. And so welcome to our third Lunch and Learn series for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Today, we're going to be talking about Safe and Sound Visitation Center. And with me to talk about that, I have Kurt Williams. He is our lead monitor. And so Kurt, it's all you, take it away. If folks have questions, put them in the chat and I will be monitoring the chat. But Kurt, it's all you.
Hello, everyone. As she mentioned, I am Kurt Williams. I am the lead monitor. I like to say the assistant to Rena Darling, who actually runs the Safe and Sound Visitation Program. We are a mutual visitation center where both parties come to us to have a visit with their child, the custodial and the non-custodial parent. The primary supervised visitation center in Callaharga County. This is where we feel that our children can have a safe visit with their non-residential parent in a safe environment. Both parents or both guardians are not allowed to see each other on our premises. Matter of fact, it's a little hard for them to see it because they arrive at separate times. They have their own separate parking lots, separate entrance and exit. We also offer, and when I say separate times, meaning, for example, if you have a 4 o'clock visit, all non-residential parents enter in 15 minutes early. So let's say you have a 4 o'clock visit, all non-residential parents will be already in their waiting room at 3:45. And then at the top of the hour, which is 4 o'clock, for my example, we go get the child or children from the other party at their parking lot or waiting area, and then we bring them in for the actual visit. You go to the next slide. Megan. Services, supervised visitation. Well, like I said, this is on-site, occurs with trained monitors in the room at all times, and we document everything that goes on from arrival, their appearances, and then actually what takes place in the visit. We do these visits Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday from 4 to 6, Saturday 10 to 4, and Sunday 11 to 5. Each of these visits are 2-hour slots, but the actual visit is an hour and 30-minute visit. When I had said that the parents won't be able to see each other, even at the end of the visit, when it's time to leave, the non-residential parent still stays 15 minutes after the visit is over before they go. That's all included in that 2-hour slot. But the actual visit is an hour and 30 minutes. We also have the Safe Exchange program. With the Safe Exchange, it's the same format, which both parents do not see each other on either side, and they do come in at separate times. But we document the arrival and the appearance. We are the middle person. We are the safe place. Our building also have an armed guard in the building at all times. And as you see, it's Friday 3:30 to 5:30, Saturday 9:30 to 3:30, and Sunday 11 a.m. to 4:30. And it's the same format again, where the non-residential parent arrives 15 minutes early when they come pick up their child and children, as well as when they return the child and children. Next slide, please. The intake process is Callaharga County Domestic Relations Court, as well as the juvenile court, surrounding county courts, and as well as voluntary. To do all this, we ask that both parties please call and contact us so we can step up a separate intake with them. We do all intakes on Zoom. That's the first process where, and that Zoom takes anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour. We want to give them that hour so you can ask whatever questions you want to ask about our program, as well as we receiving all the information from you all or them. Because we're dealing with them and their child, and we want them to feel as secure as possible by using us. Fees may occur, but for the most part, our program is free to all Cuyahoga residents. Next slide, please. As you see, showing you the different lobbies, the waiting rooms. The first slide is the waiting room for residential parents, and then the second picture is the waiting area for the non-residential parent. Next slide. We do give tours to these to our facility by calling ahead and setting up an appointment. We just want to be cautionary with COVID still being around. We do have an armed guard. Every entrance is a locked entrance. You even need a fob to enter into the room. As I stated earlier, we are a staggered arrival and departure time. All non-residential parents come in 15 minutes early, and then at the top of the hour, residential parents arrive. And then we receive the child and return the child back to the residential parent. That parent does not have any, or guardian doesn't have any interactions other than bringing their child. Monitors are trained in de-escalating all tactics, and there's no weapons policy in our on the premises, as well as no drugs whatsoever. We do not do a drug test, but we do a smell and sight. And if we feel that either party on either side is not, I like to say, at their norm, we have all rights to ask all proper questions, as well as refuse them the return of their child or that visit, depending on the situation. Next slide. What do? We support, we both sides, trying to give them confidence in, so let's say for the non-residential parent, sometimes they haven't seen their child in quite some times, they're a little nervous. We support them, letting them know that it's going to be okay, the visit is going to be great. Same thing with the child when they're coming there, they haven't seen us, they actually among strangers. So we try to be as close as possible, like a friend of the family, letting them know that they're in good and safe hands. We mirror healthy parenting styles. We document. We document everything. We are a strong tool for everyone to use. When I say that, a tool for the courts, a tool for the non-residential, as well as a tool for the residential parent to back up whatever they're saying they are. We're documenting, and they can pull those records through their legal person, like a guardian ad litem or their own attorney. We intervene when necessary, and of course, we report child abuse. Next slide. These are some examples of how our rooms look. It's very child friendly, family friendly. They actually look like your living room. I like to tell people there is no white walls and hard tables. Mostly all the rooms are couch or sectional, age appropriate um, games from an infant all the way up to a 17-year-old. Um, we try to make it as friendly, family friendly as possible. There's always a desk inside each of the rooms. That's where our monitors are be document everything that they hear and see. Next slide, please. Goals. All families to have a healthy relationship with both parties if possible. Like I said, we try to build off of rebonding them. We are not their parole officer. We're not their shadow. We are truly a tool to make sure that that visit goes safe as possible. I like to say our number one goal also is to make sure that child feels very safe, very secure, and very comfortable at all times. All families to have a safe interaction, limit re-traumatization that may occur, and successfully graduate families from the program. When we say graduate, it's not like a step or anything, but um, like it's not like there's different steps they got to do to get out. When we say graduate, meaning that they use our program to move forward to to another process in their life. Hopefully, getting outside visits or learning the truth about the residential parent, and they moving forward that way also. Next slide. The no-nos. Recommend a family should have outside visits. We do not recommend any of those because we document only what we see and what we hear. We do not give our opinion um, whatsoever. For example, any of the documentations, you would never hear us say, or in the notes, they had a wonderful time or it was magnificent. That's truly our opinion. We have to document actually what we see and hear, the characteristics of the visit. And vice versa, we'll never say in the documents, oh, that was a miserable time. Totally, that's our opinion. It will also give the characteristics of that visit, how it actually occurred. Allow physical punishment to occur. No, we do not. There is no verbal abuse or physical punishment whatsoever. Um, but we do not take away parental rights. They can put a child in timeout based off their age or what have you. Heck, we might even ask the child, okay, relax for a second, get yourself together, then come back and enjoy your visit. Uh, we do not take sides. We are very non-biased. Um, and we're not an attorney at all. We don't give advice on that, as well as therapeutic visitation. Next slide. Any questions whatsoever? Is there a fee for services? I answered that a little bit in the beginning. All Callaharga residents are free. If you are out of county resident, it's a one-time fee under $200 and the price varies. How do you get connected to us? Use the visitation center. Please call area code 216-229-2420, and you must put that extension 257, and then we will answer it. You can leave a voicemail. We'll set up an intake for whoever. Do both parents have to agree? Yes. We have to have an intake from both parties stating that they agree to do this, whether it's court order or volunteer.
Kurt, just as you were talking, I have a couple questions.
Yes, ma'am.
What would you say is like the average length of visitation? Like, are people coming for a month? Are they coming for a year? Have you found there's kind of an average length, or is there not an average length?
So there's not really an average length because each case is totally different from one another. We have some that come for only one visit and they figure the whole situation out. They're good. And we have some people that have been there as long. I've been with the program for 13 years. I have two families that have been there for 11 years.
Oh, wow.
So, so a person can be there until the child age out, actually. It's not based on us, it's based on their efforts and courts.
Awesome. And then I'm wondering, so many of Journey Center's programs and services are victim centered, right? Our advocates work with victims, our therapists work with victims. Safe and Sound is a little bit different in that you all are neutral and work with a victim and an abuser. Can you talk a little bit about what that's like for you all, and then what it's like if, say, you were working with a victim that's also working with our JSAP program? How do you work with our advocate in that capacity?
So the answer to your first part is we don't look at, yes, they come in as victim and perpetrator, but we have to go in with the mindset as a clean slate. Um, there, of course, we read the cases and everything, but we have to come in with a non-biased attitude, ready not to prejudge anyone, but just also just be cautious to make sure nothing occurs. But that's why we have all these rules of what they can, like they can't talk about court, they can't talk about the other person or ask, inquire, reference the other party whatsoever in the visit. We redirect those questions if that occurs. As far as working with an JSAP, when they call us and let us know that they have a client, we in the same sense, we still make sure that we try to stay non-biased, but we just be a little more alert.
That makes sense. Yeah. I always like when I talk about visitation, I'm always like, you all are a little different. You do a little bit, and it's really from that perspective of the whole family and recognizing the importance of healthy relationships, even if
Yes.
someone is unsafe. And so I think that's one thing that I think is important to highlight with our work. And so I would invite anyone else to put in questions. I'll include in the follow-up email how to access this.
Please
Yeah.
ask. I
Yes.
love answering questions.
And it's so good. Like I learned, and I wrote it down for that you have had a family for 11 years. I hear you all talk about clients and families that you've had for a while, but that's really cool that families feel safe enough to have us be a part of their journey
Their
to have
journey,
those
yeah.
healthy relationships for so long. So that is a fun fact that I learned. So thank you for that.
I want everyone to understand, because they're with us that long don't mean that's a negative either.
Right.
That's that both parties just feel that this is just a better way of doing it, without having the two adults arguing all the time with the kids. And then we're that backup middle person to put down the statements of what actually took place.
Yeah. And do you see, last question, like families going from visitations to exchanges? Like, okay, we're good with visits and now we're going to go to safe exchanges, or vice versa? Do you see families kind of use both?
Yes, and that we try to encourage families who are about to move on to ask their legal people, court magistrate, to seek out the safe exchange program. Or you can voluntarily do it as well to try to see how it goes, because especially if they already went through our program, that means the child, everybody already have understanding of who we are. They're familiar with us. So you wouldn't be putting the child in another weird situation by meeting at a police station or some public place. Plus, I feel more safe than any of those other options that's out there. Not to talk about anybody else. I just do, based off
Yeah.
the fact that we are a center. Um, we do have an armed guard in the building, and the format is still the same, where the two parties don't meet each other. It's simply the child and the parent.
Right. And I feel like you all and we are coming from still that angle of domestic violence and child abuse. And so that's like a little spin on the work that we do, if you will.
Okay.
I do not see any questions in the chat. And so we'll get out. I'll let folks go. So don't tell your bosses. You've got 8 minutes to kind of hang out till you have to go to work. But thank you for being here. We have our final lunch and learn next Thursday, where we're going to be talking about our trauma therapy services. And I will be joined by Samantha Hoke, excuse me, who is one of our therapists, and she's been doing this work for a while. We also have our final child abuse training next Friday. So join us there. We're going to be talking about how to respond to child abuse. And then Let's Talk Tuesdays. So follow us on Instagram now and then in the future to have those conversations about child abuse. We're doing fun polls. We're trying to really educate around what that means, not only this month, but year round and going forward. And so these are all of our services, but thank you for being here. Thank you, Kurt, for being here. You were wonderful. And I hope to see you all. Look for a follow-up email later this afternoon if you have questions. We'll get you connected. But thanks, everybody. Really, really appreciate having you here.